So I got cut off. I was saying, yes, of course, there'll be some part of physics that adds together to make a will, but the will as a structure system emerges when the system emerges. Okay. And so, it's a new thing, and of course, we don't need will to survive. We survive without it. In fact, it's a very dangerous thing. Will is very dangerous to us right now. And it's like, I forget if it was in the part that it cut off or not, but it's like an animal that's evolving. When it has wings that can glide, but they can't fly yet. It's a danger compared to when it's fully expressed. Okay, so and as a new thing, it can't be the thing that is our real self, our identity. Who am I? I'm that little thing that's inside the brain that doesn't even know all this shit that's going on in the head, let alone the world. And that's me. I don't know everything that's going on with me, or I'm not even in control or connected. Listen, me is a system, which, like any object, we're trying to describe without knowing all the parts, and never probably will. And when we say we are trying to describe it, well, they can mean many things, but often we're using words. It's our verbal brain is taking more than its percentage fair share of the thinking in that process. All the thinking of the whole brain has to go through the verbal center, and only things verbally expressible get expressed verbally. So, it's who is we? I mean, sometimes maybe it's a creative self, and we shut up and we paint a picture, and while we do that, then it's this imagery parts of our brain are getting to the foreground. Our multiple personalities have to do with the fact that we have all of these different functions in our brain, ideas and centers and hobbies and habits and ideas that we use to behave and to interact with the world. And orchestrating all this is our will. And in some sense, each one of those is a will. And in another sense, there's an orchestrator. And this conscious will, which is recently involved, is trying to be a high-tech organizer. It's as if in over history, these different wills just battle. They just try to move the body. And one gets the urge, and it does. And it's a much more crude kind of thing. And they can be at war. But with humans, we have this consciousness. We can bring our thoughts in alignment and find a more of an inner tranquility in the way that we approach some ideas, and less internal conflict if we want to, if we master that, right? And this is with consciousness, and it's evolved to help us do this. And it's obviously not fully evolved. I believe most people are at war with themselves. I believe the left and right half of the brain are not usually, as cooperative with each other as they could be in most people. And I believe that the verbal part of the brain, more or less, oppresses and dominates the other, and that's why you see the society that you do out of balance. And just to put it in a simplistic shorthand. And so I think this is what consciousness is here to overcome, by consciousness and being conscious of nonverbal communication and nonverbal expression and all the different ways that you can express your personalities together as a whole. Um, to know all that and to improve one's orchestration of that is the purpose of consciousness. And so it's got a will different than the other wills. A will to survive and hunger. These have their own very strong wills that seem to come just right out of the body, just like the energy from food just comes, and we just receive it as far as being intellectual beings. But intellectually, the will has the ability to turn one urge up and one urge down. And I think it does that through visualization. You visualize a situation, and then you visualize certain levels of response from your various parts of yourself that you know yourself well. And when that situation comes around, you're likely to have a response. It's a blend between your innate auto response and the one you visualized. And it's a blend, so you can incrementally move in some direction using your intellect and the particular kind of will that it has. In concert with the other wills. Not to overcome, that's hopeless, but in concert to direct the energy of the other wills inside us. Okay, please have not cut off. That's all I'm asking.